we we're trying. The goal is 25 families, $10,000, right? Each family bringing 10,000 to the table. That gives us a quarter of $1 million to get to acquire the land with. Now, earlier I did show a couple of properties. Um, they were all under 250,000. We had one, and I have a few more. We're going to have another meeting where I'm basically going to try to share as many property examples as we can. We can't really make a move until we actually are, like ready to pounce. Looking at properties does give us an idea of what kind of deals are out there. What I was going over when you guys came on was some of the boxes that we need to check before we purchase. And we have our brother Khalid Helmi. He's assisting us with, I think, it definitely in Maryland. I'm not sure if he's licensed in Virginia, but we're looking to have a buyer agent in each location. One of the reasons why, and I really want that buyer agent to be on board with our project as well, ideally, so that they have a dog in this fight and they understand. But understand, for one, this particular project, we're only dealing with Muslims. This is for the Muslims to come together for this project. And one of the things I like, and that is that the opportunity to come together to take just small incremental investments and take care. So first, the idea is acquire the land. The land has some, as I said, some requirements, the ability for us to build multiple, in fact, a dwelling for each family, right? We need to have that, whether we have to subdivide the land or whether the land or the county or city that we won't be in a city, but we will be in a county because we're not. These are rural. Whether they like, for instance, the property we looked at in Maryland in La Plata, it's 45 minutes outside of D.C. But it gave the option. It was residential. It was also agricultural. So we could, go either way, and we could also subdivide that property. But that was a smaller property. We're thinking much larger now. That was 20 acres, or just under 20 acres, 19.7 acres. So now we're looking at uh, larger properties. We're looking at between 40 and 100 acres, 40, 80, 100, and we're looking at some of those, and they are within our, the goal and the 250,000. They're within that. The issue there becomes the closer you get in, the more it is. So if you're 2 hours outside, 2 hours or more, say 2 hours, 2 hours to 3 hours outside of the DC metro area, the DMV, then what happens is those properties are pretty reasonable. We looked at one down there, it was 87 acres, and it was $172,000, right? Um, and it was in an area that didn't have the restrictions. This was in uh, Roanoke County and also over in Dinwiddie, if you're familiar with those areas. I know some of the people who may be joining us, who may be part of this, may in fact not be in the area at all. They may be somewhere else. And in fact, I've spoken to one brother who's living outside of the country. He's interested in it. He's interested in the program so that when he comes back, he can take part. He said, this is exactly what I'm looking for. So, and that's another one of the reasons why we decided to reach out and try to see if we could get enough interest to create a demonstration project, showing the ability for Muslims to come together, buy land, and build. I think some of you may have seen there's a guy down in Georgia. He is doing he bought 21 acres and he sold them out acre lots and they started building. So um, if you are on, I might even be able to share my screen on Facebook, on rather on, you won't be able to hear the sound though. That's the thing. I don't think.
family.
You
It's your
won't
brother
be able to
Jamel
hear the
again.
sound, but I
Just
can
wanted to make a quick video to show
kind
y'all some
of.
of the progress in our community as far as building homes. This house right here is about maybe 875, 900 square feet. We got this one built. It's not complete yet.
I
We
don't
haven't
think
began on the
you can't see this. So, but
electrical
anyway, there's a
wiring or the
video that we
plumbing yet or
shared.
anything else like that. But as far
Um,
as framing is concerned,
Let
the
me know if you
framing
can see it, but
and
I'm not sure if you can.
the
There's a
foundation
guy
and the
down
roof
in
stuff like
Georgia.
that.
He bought
All
21
that stuff
acres.
began completed. So
They're starting
if
to
you want to check out the
build
video,
right
let
now.
me
In
know what you
fact,
think.
I'm going to
Feel free to
mute
follow.
the sound here. Anyway, so if you can see it, Bilal, can you see this? What I'm sharing? You're muted.
This is Ralph. I can see it. It's
Ralph, you
not
can see
playing.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
so what this guy did, he's bought the land, and so now they own the land. He sold them all out, right? All 21 lots are sold, and now they're starting to build the houses. And I like that about it. There's some other stuff that was looking at as well that we can do in terms of using the timber that's on the land. Sort of, got some of this. I'm gleaning from what Farouk is doing. They're making their own bricks. The brick making machine, I looked at it. It's not expensive. It's about you get them for about $7,000, $8,000. There's some more expensive, but so it's sufficient. Also for uh, timber milling, lumber, creating your own joists and things like that. It's a beautiful machine. They start at less than $3,000, right? So the one we would probably get would be somewhere around 4,500 to $5,000 for the larger to be able to do the larger trees. I think the one that was 2,600 did up to 22 inches diameter, or it might have been a little bigger, and the other one does up to I think it was 30 inches. Uh,
So,
uh,
so I can pick. Oh, I hope I can cut in here real quick.
no, go ahead.
Yeah. So, listen to us out there. So, I want to first of all, I want to thank you because it's a very important project, and it's something that we're kind of like generations behind the ball on actually doing. Right.
Yeah.
So, it's an important process. I just have a couple of questions. Did you already purchase land? Or are you in the process of trying to find the land still? Because it sounds like you're in the process of trying to find the land, correct?
Yeah, the thing is that looking for this land is something that we've been doing for my family and I for at least 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
We finally came together and got serious and created an LLC and funded a bank account to do just that,
Okay.
right? So
Mashallah.
what I decided in looking and talking to people, and also while I was looking at land, I found a lot of properties that I said, you know what, this may not be right for us, but it's right for someone, and we'd like to share it. So I created a group on Facebook called Islamic Land Farm and Real Legacy Group, right? And it's about just sharing opportunities for people to find owner financed land, to find inexpensive but buildable land, et cetera, et cetera. Things that we were finding.
So the reason why I'm asking is because both the American government and the Canadian government, they do have projects for actually acquiring free land or buying entire townships,
That's right.
right? So you can actually purchase like a whole township, and then we'll have some infrastructure into the streets and roads and whatnot, and you can basically build from ground up, which is an idea, or you can get free land from the government, and the government will, like have these lots and whatnot. There has some restrictions, like you have to put like $500 down or something like that, and then you'll get the money back after you've shown some building on the property and whatnot, because the,
Hmm.
the government actually wants certain lands to be developed, right? So there are incentives for this, and I think that's a great opportunity for Muslims as well, right? Because we can essentially um, organically start an entire township from ground up for practically, no, we're just paying for building our own infrastructure. So we'll be like almost like Black Pilgrims almost, you know what I mean? So,
Right, right. Yeah, we actually looked at some of those as well.
mm,
Um, And you're right. That's a way we can go. One of the things I was looking at this particular project for is to be like a demonstration project to show what can be done, and of course there are variations on it. As you were saying, there's free land. I put a post it in that group that I'm talking about. Um, my love is what we both love, and that is the vertical farming project.